So I'm Amy Simmons. I have founded Amy's Ice Creams in 1984, and also I have Phil's Ice House. And I'm just overjoyed to be involved with this project and to be asked by Andra to be involved for the Kindness campaign.
And I'm Andra Lemont. I'm the founder and CEO of the Kindness Campaign. And we are a nonprofit that brings social and emotional, life-saving, critical social emotional tools to students and all people starting at age 3 all the way to adulthood. We started a little over almost 6 years ago now. And we have been bringing social emotional health tools into schools, starting with just curriculum, and now we've expanded to online tools. We have everything from indoor recess online tools to to puppet shows to curriculum that supports adults, workshops, teacher resource guides. So we have kind of a full offering of emotional health resources. So really making everything accessible. We do a lot of our work with Title I schools, and today we are nationwide, really reaching more and more schools outside of Austin, really being able to provide tools that are needed more so than ever. When I started this, just as a brief background, suicide was the second leading cause of death for teens, and today it's still even more so a driving need for these resources, especially after, with COVID and the isolation and everything that has been happening with COVID. We're seeing more and more of our, ER visits skyrocketing due to due to self-harm and due to emotional health reasons. So these are the reasons why the Kindness Campaign are urgently bringing out new resources, whether it's online or workshops or new tools to meet those demands. And we were able to do that this year during COVID. And we're very proud of the resources we've created.
The alignment with Andra is phenomenal. Amy's is an ice cream store. We're a super premium ice cream store, 36 years old. But I like to say that the ice cream store is a front, and it's a front for raising wonderful community members. So over the years, all the employees we have young and old, but you can imagine a lot of young people, a lot of first jobs. We've seen, when you worry about mental health, we've seen it all. A lot of the young people have been really struggling to find their place in our society. And so Amy's reason to be is to make people's day, and it's not the customer's day, although of course it is supposed to be. It's also the employees and our vendors and really everybody we come in contact with. It's an incredibly stressful world, and ice cream is this incredible product that makes everybody feel happy or relieved. It takes away stress. And so we just use it as a vehicle to make a difference in people's lives. And it's been an incredible voyage. And, I think the voyage has revealed to us like where we make a difference. And we make a difference in working with our community for important projects like this. And also really a lot primarily with our employees and creating a great sense of community and building confidence and a sense of belonging and importance. Every store has been designed by a different designer, and we've never wanted to be a chain of places that all look exactly like one another. We've used it as an opportunity to highlight different artists and their work and keep it evolving creatively. So when Andra asked about a mural, of course, I'm ecstatic about the art in Austin, and our location on South Congress, it's a little tiny building And I usually come from Ben White, so I come driving north. And recently I approached it driving south, and it's so striking of a billboard. And when Andre, when you approached us, I just thought, what an opportunity to create, some incredible energy around that beautiful word that you have given life, even more current life to, kindness. It's I think it's just seeing every human being as an individual, and we're all on our own paths, but just to recognize one another and to value humanity in one another. To me, that's kindness. And then to let that openness to the differences between us drive our behavior and our open-minded learning about one another and our understanding of what humanity is. So, I mean, I take it way up 30,000 feet, but I think it's at the core of what's important, and so much more now than ever before.
I'll tell you, when I think about kindness, and it makes me, it's almost something that is physically emotional for me, because it is just about being. It's about holding space and knowing that when you show up, that you show up wholeheartedly for someone. And so what that means, I think, to me, is just being a friend to someone, and being you, and knowing that you're enough. And all of that wrapped up together is kindness, because anything other than that is not being authentically you. And so that, to me, I think over the years of my relationship with kindness has been everything. As really wanting to, in a time when that question that you actually just asked Amy and myself of what does kindness mean to you? I think over the last year, that question is such it's just such an important question, and really wanting to figure out a way to bring our community together as a whole, and wanting to ask that question, and this idea of how to do that and how to bring everyone together around that and be able to showcase it in a way where people could feel good and come together around everyone's words and letting them know they had impact. And we all know that there's been a lot that's happened over the year that kind of transpired, where we saw people out in the streets, we saw people on TV, we saw people in different ways. And I think the mural was something as a kind of a way to signify that your voice matters. Your voice has impact. It doesn't matter where you live. There is a place that you can create, you can love and live, and no matter what we've all been through, no matter your journey, your voice and your thoughts can create a ripple effect by just telling someone what it means to you, what your community, what your values are. Sit around the table with your children, write it down, start a conversation at your workplace, in the boardroom. Write it down, and an artist will paint it, and your words will be created onto a mural for the entire community to see.
Just kind of briefly, one in a group called Austin 100, which is really, I like to tell this story, Andrea, I hope you're not. But we were in a little group. One of the things I love about that organization is it's not like a speaker. You go into these little breakout groups, and it's just a discussion of things that are kind of relevant to us all. So I am an introvert, surprisingly, an introvert masquerading as an extrovert. So I signed up for a little group of introverts, and I went in, and Andres comes in, I'm horrified because she is clearly an extrovert and she is hijacking our little group of introverts. But what she added was this incredible depth of discussion about introverts and extroverts and how we get along in the world. And it was such an incredibly rich session. And so we definitely bonded in that session. But she's also a friend of a great friend of mine. And so I've seen her band and been very impressed. But when she told me that people typically paid rent to paint murals, I was so surprised. Sometimes I'm kind of naive, but I thought that's such a gift to the city. I mean, Austin is still really known for its art and its music and its creativity. And at first I was like, well, I don't want to do anything, that doesn't match our values. But as she discussed it more, it really seems like our values are aligned. And I was really excited to have it become, the next energy of a progression of Austin's artistic focus. And, it's not something that'll last forever. It's, all of our art, is evolving and going forward and playing its role in our community. And I was just incredibly grateful to be asked, and as is the whole company.
I just really want to kind of allow that conversation to be there, that when that's the kindness campaign really, and I know you too, that to do something and do it well, it is about feeling that your values are very aligned for the bigger picture. And I definitely felt that. And I went back to the team and I just couldn't stop talking about how grateful and everybody loves Amy's ice creams, but I was just even more wowed by your depth of commitment to your values for your company. It just blew me away.
I think that's a very fine compliment coming from you. Thank you. Well, we're making a flavor. We're having a big flavor contest to come up with a kindness campaign flavor. And then also, just help promote it, help create energy around it, because it's only as valuable as it serves people. And so we want to make sure that it's serving people.
So for me, I kind of oversee all, facets of the project itself, from, guiding my team from, whether it's the marketing to our kind ambassadors who are out raising money to help, put the mural project on, to, really just the overall feel of the project itself, to, from concept to delivery. And, if there's anything, that has to be done on the backside once it's out, that also is something. We have a little bit of curriculum that we do to teach what does kindness mean to me. So if you are a supporter or someone who is, donated money to the kindness campaign, to the mural project, and you have sponsored, we do a virtual experience. So for some of our, sponsorships, that is included. So we also are hosting those, and I have hosted a couple of those. My curriculum director has hosted some of those as well. So we want to make sure that all projects that we do, whether they are fundraiser type projects or whether they are strictly curriculum based, that there is a thread of educational component that goes throughout. So we are constantly always trying to create those and make sure that we are delivering on an emotional component that really helps further our mission. And that's one of the things that I've actually been very excited about. We're about to host one coming up with Just Keep Living, and that's a ton of kids all over Austin. And there's a Title I school that we're about to do as well. So those are some of the things that I manage. It doesn't stop there. There's everything. I mean, I could keep going.
For me personally, what I would like is for people to have a physical interaction with the concept of the mural, so that it represents kindness and different people's views of kindness, and that it invokes action. You know, wouldn't it be lovely if it was a year of inspiration? And, you know, imagine all that energy that could come from this one single spot of action towards one another. Wouldn't that be spectacular?
This project is something that you can participate in now and get involved in now. You know, if you log on to tkckindness.org and go participate now, it's up until we launch on Random Acts of Kindness Day. Your words will help influence and be included in the actual physical art. After that, you will still be able to participate because we will do a QR code that will allow you to then virtually be able to see the Title I schools we're impacting, as well as all the sponsors. But at that point, you too will be able to contribute and get involved. For my hope for this project is off of that moment, is that people will go, they will get involved, take action, come and see what is on the hearts and minds of their fellow community person. If a child did get involved, that a conversation happened in the home that maybe wouldn't have happened before, or an adult to an adult, they had a conversation. Something happened in a corporation that maybe wouldn't have happened before. So these are the things that's where my hope is, that we're changing the way we communicate based on conversations that are starting now. The best thing we can do for ourselves over this next year is get involved, figure out how we can help, give access, create those moments for potential children that wouldn't necessarily have access to these kinds of experiences, give them resources, those kinds of things to really help push the needle forward for mental health and emotional health, normalizing these conversations. That is my hope. Please go to tkckindness.org and get involved. We really need your support right now more than ever. And at the end of the day, it's just really fun, and we're having a great time, and you can learn a lot, and you can get involved with your community and really help support children and adults and all those who need it most right now.
But also maybe ask yourself I loved your first question. What does kindness mean to you? It's a great exercise for all of us to go through.
That's what we need. As a community, we need to see what kindness looks like to each other. We need to hear and feel the words from each other. We need a place to go. We need to see our words combined with one another, all in one place. And over the next year, we need to go and we need to stand there, have a scoop of ice cream, and celebrate with our family, with our loved ones, over the last year that we've had. And we need to say that we matter, our community matters, and that we can build kindness together, one word at a time.